is this just fantasy, or are we at the end of the first arc of the new Conan the Barbarian? And indeed, that is the case. We're here with Jim Zub and Roberto Della Torre, and I'm looking forward to covering this end of an arc. So last we saw Conan fall into a pool of green goo, and we're going to see what happens. And we're going to see what happened to him. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I got the Roberto Della Torre cover, of course, because I like the way the guy draws. So here we go. Getting right back into it. He's sinking down deep with this Thulsa Doom baddie being pulled down as well. It's hard to say. I guess these are tentacles or something, but whatever. We're going to get into, I guess, what the backstory of all of this is. We're getting hefty amounts of Jim Zub's text here in this sequence because nobody can really talk much. And when we do get talking, it is seemingly from a memory. So as he gets pulled down, he's given a vision of how this all started from the chief of the Picts. He's passing this information along. I guess it's because Conan has been hanging on to an ancestral sword of his people, and I guess that's why he's willing to talk to Conan, even though he's not one of his people anyway. And we're treated to some gorgeous art of how the Picts met with one of their groups, and essentially they are like happy because they have found this thing that they call the Black Stone. And this bit of lore, I really love it. There's something very eerie. There's something mysterious, Lovecraftian, and I just love this giant monolithic sculpture with this crazy looking beast man, what have you, carved into it. And they worship it in a sense, and as they do, people rip off their human skin and they become reptilian. Sounds pretty cool to have reptile skin, why not? But I don't think that the chieftain of the Picts is too happy about it, and so he's going to try to fight it and ultimately fail. And I just gotta love these Roberto Della Torre spreads because he just really has a knack for it. All this great intense combat. And our Conan who isn't Conan here, or picked Conan, right? I also love just this thing being the focal point back there. And they fail, essentially. Or I guess they don't completely fail because he throws a sword at the thing, lightning strikes it, and it explodes. So essentially this is a thing, though, that can never die, and it keeps coming back. And that's what Conan needs to fight. And Conan needs to wake up from his dream, and he needs to break free from the water. But then, so this is the part that confuses me. So he breaks free, and then he's going to, I guess, stab this thing that I guess is a part of the Black Stone. He's trying to break it apart. And then lightning shows up and strikes it. Lightning does not like this thing, but it does shoot Conan out of the water, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's hard to really find complaints with the art, there's a few things story-wise that I'm a little confused about. I just know that in the end it boils down to they have to fight their way out. And just some really great panels. I really love this one, how it's broken like this and empty here. Yeah, all around great combat. Nice viscera here. Great color work, of course. And I'm just enjoying being in a world like this, or being shown a world like this, I should say. As far as the story and such goes, it's been serviceable. There's even the monolith thing, that's actually really interesting to me. I really like that kind of stuff. But as to who these lizard men are and what they want, I guess just to take over, like all bad people do. But here he stabs a guy through the mouth. I mean, we get a little extra violence here and there, and I think we saw boobs once, so it's a little more 2023 than the old comics were. But yeah, and then suddenly the whole thing collapses. And I guess, yeah, the whole thing's falling down the whole time. And so here we have the thing has collapsed, and this is when we are told that Brissa, our female lead for this story, was inside when it collapsed. That she came in looking for him but never came out. And so I don't know if that's true. I doubt that it is, just because it seemed like they were establishing a new character that could recur for him, a new Red Sonja, if you will, because who knows if the rights to Red Sonja are not available and they can't use her in further Conan comics. But anyway, no body, no death, as far as I'm concerned, especially in long ongoing stories like this. So I'm going to say she's probably okay. And then we get our final moment here where a group of Asgardian nomads, looking very Wagnerian in some of their gear, come across the remains of the tower, and this son of a bitch picks up a piece of the black stone, and it's never gonna be over. And that's a fine way to end it. It's a bit of a horror ending in that this will never end. And I'm okay with that, because there was some horror elements to this book. And ultimately, that is where Conan the Barbarian #4 leaves us. You know, with the promise of another issue coming. And I happen to already have this issue, and the thing that I was worried that they would do, they've already done. But I will get into that later. So, having seen this conclusion, I know it may sound a little lackluster, but I love the art of it. And there's a really cool reveal with this black stone thing. And there's something really exciting and engaging about that. But how it all resolves isn't super complex or even particularly interesting. It's drawn gorgeously, so that helps make up for a lot. But as far as what Conan has to do to resolve the situation, it isn't much and isn't also very clear. But that's what I have to say about it. If you think you like the look of this and you want to get more into it, into the details, I would say pick up this first set of 4 issues. It's only 4 issues for this arc, and you get treated to some great art and some fun Conan action. And if that's really all you want, that's what you get. So I would say recommend it, and I'll be looking into the next issue and we'll talk about it. But for right now, that is it for Conan the Barbarian. And while I have you, if you are interested or still looking for any holiday gifts, might I recommend my comics like side questers here. This is the volume 1, the first 8 issues of that series. And it's full of fantasy, adventure, and monsters and fun stuff like that. You may also like Haxon, which is my anthology series that's based in the same world and is filled with stories about magic users and wizards and such. And they are also available on my website. And my comic 3-panel origin is also available. This collects the first 3 years of comics. I basically create a character and tell their origin, and they're kind of embarrassing. It's the vibe of the Tick. And this is a book of short stories about them. If any of this seems interesting to you, please visit my website and enjoy. But that's it for now for Conan.